Justice delayed. The highest court in the land extends a decision that could impact millions of women across the country as the Supreme Court weighs the legality of abortion pills. Plus, hola, Rosalva.
Hola, buenos días.
Yo estoy Lindsay.
Bienvenida a la casa, mucho gusto.
So we are about to engage the rainwater harvesting system.
Yeah, we can hear the rain coming. In tonight's Prime Focus, we introduce you to the water warriors traveling to Mexico to see firsthand how these small communities struggle to get the clean water they need to survive. And Shake is the man behind some of the top Afrobeat songs in the world, and as the genre becomes one of the most popular on platforms like Spotify, we sit down with him and talk about what's behind the movement.
To me, the way I understand music is a feeling. Sometimes you don't even need to understand it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We're following those stories and much more tonight, including the inflection point where we find ourselves this evening. From Kansas City to Texas and New York, the death toll continues to rise after at least 3 separate incidents in just a matter of days where young people were killed or injured after they simply went to the wrong home, car, or driveway. And in Alabama, a 3rd arrest has been made after that deadly shooting at a party that left 32 injured and 4 others dead. And back to Texas, where the words 21 for 21 rang out in the state legislature as Uvalde families begged lawmakers to raise the gun age to 21 after 21 lives were lost at Robb Elementary. The status of that proposal, plus the revealing words written by the shooter. Meanwhile, a very different scene is playing out in Washington state, where the governor there prepares to sign a statewide assault gun ban into law. Firearm sales are soaring before it goes into effect. It is the state of affairs in America, guns touching every corner of this country. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories for us and much more tonight. But we do begin with the latest developments with the Kansas City homeowner who shot a black teen who had simply gone to the wrong address. Today, 84-year-old Andrew Lester appeared in court before a judge, entering a plea of not guilty to felony charges. Court documents show Lester told police that he shot 16-year-old Ralph Yarl in the head and arm because he lives alone and was, quote, scared to death. The shooting at his Kansas City home has sparked outrage after the teen was shot twice after he mistakenly went to the wrong house to pick up his younger brothers. But tonight we have a positive update about Yarl, his attorney sharing this new image of the teen who continues recovering now back at home. The family is calling his survival a miracle. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Tonight, the Kansas City man charged with shooting a black teenager who mistakenly knocked on his door, making his first appearance in court. 84-year-old Andrew Lester, hunched and walking with a cane, pleading not guilty to felony assault and armed criminal action. Court documents revealing investigators recovered a Smith & Wesson .32 caliber revolver in the front living room chair with 2 spent shell casings still in the cylinder, live rounds still in the chambers. Lester telling police he fired at 16-year-old Ralph Yarl because he saw a black male approximately 6 feet tall pulling on the door handle and thought someone was breaking in, and saying it was the last thing he wanted to do, but he was scared to death of Yarl's size. Yarl, who's only 5'8", telling authorities after he was shot in the head and arm that Lester told him, "Don't come around here." And tonight, just 6 days after he was shot in the head, the teen outdoors on a bench with a smile.
He's still working on developing his speech and walking, but those are all great things to say about Ralph, considering the significance of his injuries.
Just remarkable that he's even already at home recovering. Alex Perez joins us now from Kansas City. Alex, what's next for that homeowner after his appearance in court today?
Well, Lindsay, that homeowner is due back in court June 1st. He remains free on bond, but if convicted, he could face life in prison. Lindsay?
Alex Perez for us. Thanks so much, Alex. 2 Texas cheerleaders were shot Tuesday morning after mistakenly getting into the wrong car in the parking lot. This just the latest in a string of shooting deaths caused by children making innocent mistakes. ABC's Maria Villarreal brings us this report.
Tonight in upstate New York, in a small rural area outside Albany, this man appearing in court accused of shooting a 20-year-old woman after the car she was riding in pulled into his driveway by mistake. Homeowner Kevin Monahan charged with second-degree murder. A judge today ordering the 65-year-old to be held without bail. Authorities say 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis and 3 friends were riding in that car, Monahan firing at them as they tried to pull away, killing Gillis.
Kaylin deserves to have her story told and what a beautiful person she was and how many people loved her.
The deadly shooting raising questions across the country tonight, and it comes as a star high school cheerleader is in a Texas ICU after being shot when a friend mistook a stranger's car for one of their own. According to police, it happened after midnight Tuesday in a grocery store parking lot just outside of Austin. Peyton Washington, Heather Roth, and 2 other members of the Woodlands Elite Cheer Company were heading home from practice when Roth says she tried to get into a car she thought belonged to her and saw a man inside. She quickly went back to her friend's car, but the man walked over as Roth tried to apologize.
Threw his hands up and then he pulled out a gun. And then he just started shooting at all of us.
Roth was grazed by a bullet in the gunfire. Washington suffered serious injuries and was taken to a hospital. Police say the suspected gunman, Pedro Rodriguez, is now in custody. The suspect in that upstate New York case has actually been charged with second-degree murder. And back here in Texas, in the cheerleader case, the alleged gunman is in jail right now, facing a $500,000 bond and charges of deadly conduct. Lindsay?
Maria, thank you. 3 people, including 2 teenagers, have now been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting at a birthday party in Alabama over the weekend, where 4 victims were killed and 32 others injured. 2 are teens and have each been charged as adults with 4 counts of reckless murder. The 3rd suspect is 20 years old and also formally charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. 4 victims are still in the hospital in critical condition. And Uvalde families sobbed as they sat before a group of Texas lawmakers pleading for gun reform until the early morning hours. Today, the grieving parents are pushing for the passing of House Bill 2744, which would raise the age to purchase semi-automatic weapons in Texas from 18 to 21. Some powerful sound from parents and chilling information from a lawmaker. Take a listen.
Your thoughts and prayers haven't done anything in the 329 days since Uzziah was shot through his stomach, exiting his spine. Your thoughts and prayers are useless unless you have thought and prayed for legislation that you can help enact that could change this.
In the classroom where the shooter tore those kids apart is a whiteboard. On one side of that whiteboard was a banner that said "Lovebirds" and had the names of some of these innocent kids who were dating. The other side of what that whiteboard had was empty. However, the attacker scooped up the blood of his victims and smeared it into a disgusting message there. What he wrote in innocent blood right next to that Lovebirds banner was the phrase LOL.
Really so difficult to listen to that. Meanwhile, Washington State just passed a ban on the sale, manufacture, and import of assault weapons statewide. The bill goes to the governor's desk for signature. Now to Washington, where the Supreme Court has put off a decision on the use of the abortion pill. They've now given themselves until Friday night to weigh in on a Texas judge's decision to roll back the FDA's approval of the pill, restricting its use even in states where abortion is legal. ABC's Rachel Scott has the latest tonight from the Supreme Court.
Tonight, that urgent ruling from the Supreme Court allowing the abortion pill mifepristone to remain widely available for at least 2 more days. The justices giving themselves until Friday night to consider a ruling by a lower court that would slap restrictions on the pill to prevent women from accessing the drug after 7 weeks of pregnancy, require 3 in-person doctor visits, and make it unavailable by mail. It comes after a conservative Texas judge ruled mifepristone, which is used in more than half of abortions in the U.S., should have never been approved by the FDA. Today, the agency's commissioner said the decision could have ripple effects on other drugs.
We are concerned about the potential future impacts of this case.
Certainly lots of people are concerned here. Rachel Scott joins us now from the Supreme Court. And Rachel, the justices have 2 more days now to release a decision by Friday. Is there any hint of which direction they might be heading?
Well, Lindsay, Justice Samuel Alito, who issued this extension, did not provide any reason for the delay. But you have veteran court watchers who are watching what is going on right now, and they say that on an issue this contentious, this delay could mean that multiple opinions are in the works and that the justices needed more time to write. And of course, the White House is vowing to fight any restrictions for as long as it takes, Lindsay.
And you've, of course, been covering the impact of restrictions on abortion all across the country since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, even before that. Give us a sense of how much of an impact it would have if this abortion pill is no longer widely available.
Yeah, if there are restrictions put in place on mifepristone, this would have a significant impact. This is an abortion pill that's used in more than half of abortions in the United States. One of the restrictions that is currently being proposed by one of the lower courts would essentially ban the drug after 7 weeks of pregnancy. Most women don't even find out they're pregnant until right around 6 weeks. It would also no longer make it available by mail. I've talked to many abortion clinics who say that sometimes over half of their patients are currently getting this abortion pill by the mail. Not only that, this would apply to every single state in the nation. Currently, abortion is still legal in 36 states. So if restrictions are put in place by the high court, this would affect every single one of those states, even if abortion is still currently legal in that state, Lindsay.
A monumental decision. Rachel Scott, our thanks to you. Next to the latest on the 21-year-old Massachusetts Air National Guardman accused in that massive leak of classified documents. Jack Teixeira made a brief court appearance in Boston today with his lawyers asking for more time to prepare. Meanwhile, the Air Force is investigating the leak and taking away the intelligence mission of the unit Teixeira served. ABC's Whit Johnson is in Boston for us.
Behind bars for nearly a week, ever since an FBI tactical unit arrested him at his Massachusetts home. But today, Jack Teixeira standing before a federal judge, his father in the courtroom, as Teixeira waived his right to a preliminary hearing. The former Air National Guardsman, who has not entered a plea, is accused of posting highly classified documents on a site called Discord, popular with young gamers. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin today responding to questions about how the 21-year-old IT specialist had such broad access to military secrets.
He was a computer specialist that worked in an intelligence unit. And so their business was intelligence.
The Air Force now ordering Teixeira's intelligence unit in Massachusetts to stand down and conducting a service-wide review of security procedures.
We're all disturbed about it, and we're working very, very hard to get to the bottom of it and take corrective actions.
Our thanks to Whit Johnson. The Florida Board of Education has voted to expand restrictions on classroom instruction related to sexual orientation and gender identity. According to the amendment, for students in grades 4 through 12, quote, instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity is prohibited unless such instruction is either expressly required by state academic standards or is part of a reproductive health course or health lesson for which a student's parent has the option to have his or her student not attend. This would build on the parental rights in education law, or what critics call the Don't Say Gay law. And we turn now to the deadly parking garage collapse here in New York City, with new video revealed from inside the building as it collapsed. 5 garage employees were injured and the manager was killed. A friend of the manager tells ABC News that he was on the 2nd floor getting ready to go home when the building simply collapsed. Here's ABC's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, new video from inside that New York City parking garage capturing the thunderous moment it collapsed.
My whole apartment shook like an earthquake.
The 3-story structure pancaking, cars piled on top of each other, killing 1 person, injuring 7 others. Sources say the building manager was killed today, his body removed from the rubble. Neighbors tell us he was about to leave when the building collapsed. This giant crane pulling crushed cars out one by one, this SUV falling to the street. The building still unstable, gas tanks and electric car batteries now at risk of exploding.
So there could clearly still be more fallout here. Trevor Ault joins us now. Trevor, what are investigators looking for as far as what might have caused this?
Well, Lindsay, there's really been some interesting developments today because we learned yesterday that this building had several open violations, the main one going back 20 years from 2003 when an inspector found there was defective cement with visible cracks. Well, what we learned today from the mayor's office is that they say in 2010, the owners of this building actually fixed that issue. They just didn't file the paperwork to close the violation. So it would appear that that citation for the defective concrete in 2003 may not be related to this collapse. Instead, what we've learned is investigators are focusing on on the age of this building. It was constructed in 1925, so it's nearly a century old. And they're also asking questions about the weight on the roof. They say there were 50 cars parked on the top floor when this building collapsed. Lindsay.
Really scary. Trevor Altar, thanks to you. Still much more to get to here on Crime. Coming up, a 15-year-old struck by a car and killed. How police say an alleged crime spree resulted in his death. But next in our Prime Focus, the fight for clean water as millions around the world struggle to get access. We speak to the water warriors, shining a light on just how dire it is for some communities.
The street level is dropping about 1.5 feet per year because of how quickly we're drawing water out of the ground. So yeah, 22 million people running out of water. It's like a pretty terrifying thought.
Families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, as we continue our reporting on the power of water, we want to shine a light on the silent crisis that's happening around the world, the lack of access to clean drinking water. 1 in 4 people worldwide carry this burden, and unless you don't have tap water, it's probably something you spend very little time thinking about. In tonight's Prime Focus, we travel to Mexico to meet some water warriors fighting for clean water for everyone, everywhere.
It is quite literally an uphill battle, a perilous pilgrimage. High in the hills of Mexico, in the heart of the San Juan Tlacotenco forest, the worth of water is revealed. More than 2 billion people around the world shoulder this burden, this desperation born out of life without access to clean drinking water, prompting some to take these treacherous treks of survival.
Es una familia muy humilde y la verdad pues ellos se mantienen de este pozo.
This man carries out the age-old tradition with success. He's fortunate that upon his arrival, roughly an hour after sunrise, no one else has beaten him to the spring. The water has not run out. After filling his water bottles, he then begins the long journey home, this time hauling heavy jugs in tow. In some of the world's most remote places, water is a challenge at best.
We're heading to a small community outside of Mexico City to really witness firsthand the impact of the water crisis.
We wind our way around the Mexican mountainside, about 60 miles south of Mexico City, though it feels like a world away.
This is the way to the spring, to the Sacazonapa spring.
And this spring has been around for
hundreds of years. And this is the closest spring to the community.
Tracing the steps of this life-threatening tradition in pursuit of a precious lifeline.
It is right over here. But this is the trouble that a person needs to do.
How do you do this if you have a lot of water?
Exactly, carrying a jug of water, doing this, it is particularly hard.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's hard enough without any water.
Right? And this is the spring.
The steep climb concludes here.
This has been a tradition for many of the villagers here for generations, where they make this trek, sometimes several times a week, in order to get access to clean water from this sacred spring right here. And this water comes directly from the forest.
Often women bear this burden, and it's one many are unaware of. Around the globe, women spend 200 million hours a day collecting water for their families. Eva Flores endures the hardship personally and professionally. Her restaurant, Los Aguandos, is one of the only restaurants here in San Juan Tlacotenco.
Oh, también aquí.
She tells us she worries about water every single day.
¿Tú tienes suficiente?
No,
nunca.
No nos alcanza. No, nunca compramos por pipa aquí el agua.
There is never enough. She primarily relies on the rainwater she harvests during the rainy season to run both her household as well as her business.
¿Tú estás muy preocupada cada día para agua?
Claro que sí. Sí, porque pues, le digo, aquí nos hace, pues, lo primero el agua. Pues aquí no tenemos agua potable.
But by the end of the dry season, when the water runs low, only further aggravated by extreme droughts linked to climate change, Ava, like so many here, needs to pay for water to be trucked up the mountain.
We've seen certain communities where people spend as much as 20% of their income on water, which is insane.
The giant tank right in Ava's front yard was installed by Isla Urbana, a local water NGO specializing in improving rainwater harvesting.
Gets channeled in. Most of the places that have very severe water access problems in Mexico are also very remote, rural, predominantly very indigenous communities.
This tank acts as a storage vessel to capture rainwater. It's connected to a filtration system, making it more manageable to do basic domestic necessities. And when it runs out, it can be filled back up by a water truck.
When you have water crises like this, everybody always thinks of like access, like not having enough water. But the quality problem is just as big.
Enrique Lomans founded Isla Urbana when he saw the water issues plaguing his hometown of Mexico City. It's one of the largest cities in the world, and it's running out of water.
The street level is dropping about 1.5 feet per year because of how quickly we're drawing water out of the ground. So yeah, 22 million people running out of water. It's like a pretty terrifying thought.
A terrifying thought so many are facing. And Isla Urbana is just one of many organizations worldwide building solutions to help create equal access to water for all.
Hey, how you doing?
So nice to meet you. And so is one of Hollywood's biggest superstars. Matt Damon has taken on perhaps his most significant role yet.
What made you decide, I want to use my platform for good specifically in this way?
As I started to learn about issues of extreme poverty, I was just shocked at how water really undergirded everything.
I recently sat down with Damon and his co-founder Gary White in New York. They've pledged to help as many communities globally gain access to clean water. Together in 2009, they created Water.org.
This is the global water crisis.
The organization has already empowered more than 52 million people with access to safe water or sanitation through affordable financing in 11 countries and 4 continents.
One after another, these women, among the most vulnerable on the planet, are really taking charge of their own solutions. And that's what's exciting for us, is it's not our story at all, it's their story.
The reaction for kids, for girls and women who have been spending the majority of their days, just in search of water, and now all of a sudden they have water.
It's sheer liberation, right? You're unshackled from this really onerous existence. Your day is dominated by how am I going to find and collect water versus the ability to go to school and to start to think about, okay, well, what kind of life could I actually build for myself? It's a complete game changer.
Each small loan they dole out literally transforms lives.
One woman who we met in the Philippines, she was paying about $60 a month in this slum for these water vendors. She took out one of these loans. Now she's paying $5 a month for the loan repayment and $5 a month for her utility bill. And there's been $4.2 billion in these microloans.
It's not just the needless kind of death and disease that happens because of this issue. It's the robbing human beings, particularly girls, of their potential to live out their dreams and be and kind of maximize their potential and live the lives that they want to live.
Hola, Rosalva.
Hola, buenos días.
Yo estoy Lindsay.
Bienvenida a la casa, mucho gusto.
Oh, igualmente.
Dreams that Rosalva hopes will come true for her 14-year-old daughter, Dulce.
Hubo un tiempo donde ha pasado de que no hay agua y por ciertas cosas te enfermas.
Dulce, which means sweet, knows the bitter reality of life without regular access to water. It's a luxury here in the rural hills of San Juan Tlacotenco. Dulce says she dreams of a day she doesn't have to worry about water or wait for the rain to come.
Tenemos que esperar a que a veces la lluvia, o sea, que llueva para tener agua. Entonces lo que me gustaría es de que eso no pasara, que tuviéramos agua sin, digamos, sin restricción, sin tener que estar comprando.
Rosalva explains to us that it's been raining less and less here and that she's forced to buy her own water. Several NGOs, including Sarar, help families like theirs get access to water and something that many take for granted, a place to go to the bathroom.
Antes de este baño, yo tenía aquí llamamos una fosa, que es un hoyo dentro de la tierra.
¿Puedes mostrarme?
Claro que sí, adelante.
Okay.
She tells us she's had the bathroom less than a year. Globally, women spend 266 million hours a day finding a place to relieve themselves.
Como puedes ver, aquí no utilizamos ni una gota de agua.
Sarar helped Rosalva build her own bathroom on her property, as well as a filter system to make her rainwater instantly drinkable. Rosalva says both have tremendously improved her quality of life.
Ya nosotros como que vivimos más sanamente, estamos más contentos, todo es mucho más limpio.
And she's grateful, in large part, to Rafael Almazan.
So we are about to engage the rainwater harvesting system.
Yeah, we can hear the rain coming.
The director of Sarar, which helps women like Rosalva transform their relationship with water and sanitation. Rafael explains why the burden of water collection so often falls squarely on the shoulders of women.
En el caso de San Juan, por ejemplo, Rosalba, ella tiene que salir a trabajar todos los días, de 6 de la mañana a 4 o 5 de la tarde, vendiendo sus nopales o trabajando en la tienda. Y después de eso todavía tiene que encargarse de las labores domésticas. Y una de esas labores domésticas es, pues, buscar agua.
¿Por qué es las mujeres que tienen que buscar el agua? ¿Dónde están los hombres?
Los hombres, muchos de ellos migran a los Estados Unidos. Y, ajá.
So, las mujeres están solas con los niños.
Sí.
Leaving young girls like Dulce to bear this daily silent burden. She's already a water warrior, determined to help access and sustain this dwindling resource.
Y eso es lo que me gustaría futuro, ayudar aquí en mi comunidad a eso, a que, digamos, haya agua en todas partes.
Giving further credence to the old adage that when someone's thirsty, a drop of water is worth more than a sack of gold. A reality Dulce and her mom live every day as they treasure this simple yet sacred necessity that sustains us all.
Something so necessary that so many of us often take for granted. We want to thank everyone who helped make that story possible. Still much more to get to tonight. Coming up, a chilling murder mystery, what police are revealing about the 4 people found dead inside one of their homes and the man arrested in their killings. But next, Netflix is ending the program that started it all, DVD rentals. We take a look at the company's history, including the surprising revelation of the streamer's most requested DVD title, By the Numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
A sexualized child model.
Exploitation.
What happened to her isn't really about her, it's just about women.
I let myself be vulnerable, and this is the first time I've ever spoken about what happened. I thought my one no should have been enough, you know. When someone like Brooke Shields talks about it, it makes a difference. I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the right now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The right now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you. Yes, Whoopi! This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what people don't see during the commercial breaks.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I was so young, I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the It Girls.
This stuff has to come out. Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. And it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. It may have been a while since you've seen one, but those red and white envelopes with Netflix's DVDs will soon be no more. Let's take a look by the numbers. The streaming giant announced yesterday that after 25 years, it would end its DVD by mail program this September. Those iconic red envelopes with DVDs first started shipping out back in 1998. The movie Beetlejuice was the first DVD ever mailed as Netflix began competing with rental video giants like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. Since that time, the company says it has shipped more than 5.2 billion DVDs by mail, providing convenience and a vast selection of movies and TV shows, and giving the company a foothold in millions of homes that laid the groundwork for the company's shift to streaming entertainment. The company says it counted some 40 million unique subscribers to its DVD mail service over the years, and the DVD division brought in $146 million in revenue last year. That pales in comparison to the 232.5 million subscribers to various levels of Netflix streaming subscriptions worldwide today, which brought in $8.1 billion in revenue, according to the latest Netflix earnings report released yesterday. But if you're feeling nostalgic, you still have 163 days left to go to DVD.com to get one of those Netflix DVDs by mail before the program ends this fall. And if you need a recommendation, you could pick up the 2009 Sandra Bullock hit The Blind Side, which is the most requested Netflix DVD title ever. And we still have much more ahead on Prime tonight. Golden State Warrior star Draymond Green is being reprimanded, the on-court moment that led to a suspension. And it's a genre gaining more and more popularity in the U.S. And Ashake is the artist behind some of the top hits. He tells us what's fueling the international rise of Afrobeats.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital. Destructive Cat 4 storm.
We're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
I was so young, I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the It Girls.
This stuff has to come out.
Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. And it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu. Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA.
You're gonna love it.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Boston Strangler, starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back. The search for a motive in the killings of 4 people. A new report reveals the extent of air pollution in this country, and a beloved band releases its first single after a tragic loss. Those stories and much more in tonight's Rundown.
Authorities in Maine say a 34-year-old man allegedly shot his parents and 2 of their friends in a Bowdoin, Maine home days after his release from prison. State police said Joseph Eaton was released this past Friday and had been staying with the parents' friends. Shortly after the 4 victims were found Tuesday morning, Eaton allegedly shot and wounded 3 people as they drove on Interstate 295 in Yarmouth. Eaton was arrested and charged with 4 counts of murder.
An arrest in Ventura County, California, after a man drove into a group of high school students.
A 15-year-old boy was killed and others hurt when a car slammed into a group outside of Westlake High School in Thousand Oaks. The driver, investigators say, was 24-year-old Austin Ice, who was on a crime spree and had stabbed a Walmart employee beforehand, and now they think he intentionally hit the students. Ice was arrested at the crash site and is now facing multiple charges, including murder.
I've come here today to announce my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States.
Environmental attorney and anti-vaccine advocate Robert Kennedy Jr. has thrown his hat into the ring for the 2024 Democratic presidential race.
Kennedy made the announcement at a kickoff rally in Boston. He is the son of the late Robert F. Kennedy. RFK Jr. joins Marianne Williamson in the Democratic race against President Biden, who has signaled he intends to run again.
The American Lung Association is out with its annual State of the Air report.
The American Lung Association says 1 in 3 Americans are inhaling unhealthy levels of air pollution. The good news is that number's down by about 20 million. The report details how much soot and ozone we breathe, which boils down to what factories, power plants, cars, wood, and forest fires pump into the atmosphere, as well as fossil fuel fumes contributing to a variety of lung diseases.
Golden State Warriors star Draymond Green was suspended for 1 game after stomping on the Sacramento Kings' Domantas Sabonis during the team's playoff game Monday. The incident took place late in Game 2 after Sabonis fell to the ground. He was seen grabbing Green's ankle, after which Green stomped on his chest and ran down the court. Green was ejected from the game. Sabonis finished the game but was diagnosed with a sternum contusion and was listed as questionable for Game 3. Those lyrics opened the Foo Fighters' first new song since the death of longtime drummer Taylor Hawkins. The band released Rescued today as the first single from their upcoming album, but here we are. Hawkins died at age 50 in March 2022. Foo Fighters have not said who the drummer was on the album or if a new drummer would join the band moving forward.
Welcome back, everyone. ABC News is looking at the importance of conserving water at home. And our Becky Worley has one way to conserve that you may have never even heard of.
Leaks. Little drips that add up to big problems.
A little leak, dropping 1 drop per minute, can add up to about 3,000 gallons a year.
That's equivalent to 180 typical showers. And leaks are common. The EPA says 10% of homes in the U.S. have leaks that exceed 90 gallons a day. That means higher water bills, and over time, leaks can cause structural damage to your home. But how do you check for leaks? To find out, we head to the home of Maria and Dale Brace in Allentown, Pennsylvania. This house has charm. How old is it?
It was built in 1929.
Wow, so almost 100 years old.
Yes.
Have you had any trouble with leaks in the past?
A couple of years ago, yes. I didn't know where the water was coming from.
Expert plumber Bill Brogan leads us on a leak-finding expedition. Are older homes more likely to have leaks?
Oh, absolutely. That's where we find most of our leaks.
Can people save money by getting their leaks fixed?
It's actually more cost-effective now to pay a plumber to come and fix your leaks than to let the leak continue on.
First, find the water meter, the basement, and see if it's moving even when there are no faucets on. Do you see any movement?
No, there's no flow at the moment, but this will tell you for a steady leak, but it will not cover toilets leaking. And that's the first place you'd want to look when you have a high water bill, is to check your toilets, because as we call them, they're silent killers.
To check this porcelain throne, Bill performs a dye test, dropping these small tablets in the tank. If after 15 minutes you see blue water seeping into the bowl, you've got a leak.
The flapper leaks are the easiest leaks to fix. Just a matter of removing your flapper from your toilet, and you can put the new flapper in yourself.
Here's your outside faucet.
Next, the garden spigot. These are notorious leak culprits, right?
Correct. Most times they're visible leaks coming out of them, dripping. If you can't visibly see it, a lot of times you just hold your hand underneath and you look for drips coming out of the faucet itself.
Luckily for Maria and Dale, you've passed the inspection. You guys are leak-free. Give me a high five. Water conservation. Give it to me right here. All right, okay. Good job.
Leak-free, good way to be. Our thanks to Becky for that. Afrobeats is gaining popularity in the United States. The rhythmic fusion of West African and Black American music delivers melodies that make you want to move with culture at its core. At the forefront of the movement is artist Asake. The Nigerian singer has already broken records within the genre, solidifying himself as a bona fide star on the rise. Our Phil Lipoff sat down with Asake to talk about his journey to music in tonight's Prime playlist.
Pulsating percussion, a flashy, eclectic style, lyrics based on life experience, and a sound tightly wound to his Nigerian roots. Asake is one of the hottest Afrobeat stars in the music industry. The 28-year-old is already making history right out of the gate. His 2022 debut album, Mr. Money with the Vibe, is the highest charting African debut album of all time on Apple Music. Mr. Money featuring the hit song Songba with a feature by Grammy Award-winning artist Burna Boy. His trademark dance moves, born on the streets of Lagos, Nigeria, where he grew up.
My parents used to play me a lot of classic songs. They love listening to songs. You know, the kind of father I have is the one that will wake up in the morning, have one cigarette, then, you know, loud music. Then at the end of the day, I feel like, oh, I can actually sing. Let me add music to it. Then I started singing. Maybe because I know how to dance, then I know how to bounce on music.
It's a
dance.
rhythm.
Yeah,
it's a rhythm to the music and the dancing.
I think I started falling in love because everything is just going together.
In 2017, you released Ayeza. And that was an upbeat, dancey kind of song. And then a year later, you release a song that's a little bit more R&B. And when people see those two releases, I think it shows that you have a range, which I see all over your music.
I actually don't want to be a musician in the first place. Yeah, I just want to dance. It feels like water. You get, I love everything that comes with dance. But at the end of the day, after dancing, I fell in love with having money too. Do you understand? Then I started thinking about it that, is dance going to give me the kind of money I want? Do you understand?
While Africans in Africa and around the world are mainly responsible for the globalization of Afrobeats, major U.S. collaborations have contributed to its rise in the West.
That's why I need a one dance.
Drake's One Dance, featuring Wizkid and Kyla, is one of the most streamed songs in Spotify history, with currently more than 2 billion streams right now, according to the platform.
Don't you jealous me?
In 2019, Beyoncé's The Lion King The Gift album featured African artists like Burna Boy, Mr. Easy, Tiwa Savage, and Yemi Alade debuted at #2 on the U.S. Billboard 200. And so far in 2023, Afrobeats has been named one of the most popular music genres on Spotify, recently hitting its 1-year anniversary on the Billboard charts. Asake charting a total of 16 songs in 2022, melding other genres into his music, mixing traditional Nigerian Fuji music, Afropop, and South African Amapiano to create Afrofusion.
What makes up Afrobeats? I hear a lot of things when I listen to Afrobeats, things that I know from my past, whether it be a little bit of reggae or a little bit of dance.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of things in there. What do you hear when you listen to Afrobeats?
I think what I like in it is the spirituality.
And his rhythms do feel spiritual. Rhythms true to where he came from, singing in Yoruba, a language spoken in West Africa, primarily in central Nigeria.
So you sing in both English and Yoruba in a lot of the songs, if not all of them.
Yeah.
How important is that to you to keep that language in the song?
Yoruba is so important to me, and there are a lot of people that understand it. And to me, the way I understand music is a feeling. Sometimes you don't even need to understand it.
His devotion to fans and his craft, religious.
When you're putting on a show, when you're live, the energy in the crowd is pretty intense too. How do you feed off of it? How do they feed off of you?
Everybody is there for the same reason. Feel good music, you know, have a connection. So like, they do what they have to do by jumping and screaming, Ashanke, you know. I have to do what I have to do and make sure they even enjoy the song more than what they are listening to on Apple Music.
It's that love for the live interaction with his fans that made what happened in London, December 15th of 2022, so devastating. Outside the Brixton Academy, one of the city's most famous venues, a crowd of fans tried to get into the show, causing a crush of people. 2 women were killed.
As an artist, and as someone who is talking about peace and love, and how difficult was that for you?
I won't lie to you. What happened in London is like something that can never leave me. You get? It's even part of why I have to like stay away from everybody and find balance, you get? It's like a pain that will never leave me.
Ashanke channels his emotion into art, including fashion, choosing different trends from one day to the next. He says it's his authenticity and energy that draws fans to his music.
What are you saying there?
I don't even know what they're saying. I just like how it sounds. That's what the song is about. It's just about, you know, connecting with who you are, you know, wake up, live a good life. You have to lift your spirit yourself so people can see like, oh, he's trying to move forward. Then they push you forward too. So if you don't feel blessed, you won't be blessed.
I think when fans see an honest musician, they fall in love with that. Do you think that that's a part of your success, is just being you?
The day I accept myself, then I found myself. And everything started coming easy.
Our thanks to Phil for that. You have undoubtedly heard his name, perhaps even worn his shoes, but what do you really know about Steve Madden? The designer is giving us a chance to walk a mile in his shoes, from building a fashion empire to a battle with addiction to time in prison. All of it is revealed in his autobiography, The Cobbler: How I Disrupted an Industry, Fell from Grace, and Came Back Even Stronger Than Ever. And Steve Madden himself joins us now. What a pleasure. Just, you know, we've had the chance to talk to each other just now for a little bit, and already so fond of you. And it just seems like you are quite literally an open book. So let's just kind of start from this idea of writing a book and becoming so vulnerable after spending decades creating this multi-billion-dollar industry. Why did you decide to write a book about some of your deepest, darkest?
Well, the thought came to me, actually, The Wolf of Wall Street, interesting enough, was sort of like planted the seed. The fellow that wrote that book I was involved with, and that's how I got in trouble. And then they made a movie out of it, and it was a great movie, and, you know, it was fairly truthful. But anyway, I thought, well, I'm going to write a book and tell my story, and I wanted to talk about it and write it while I could still remember it, you know. And the other thing was, I thought if I could reach out to a young man in his 20s that is struggling with drugs and alcohol and thinks his life is finished, or that his family thinks he's finished, you know, it's not true. Because that was me in my 20s, you know.
I want to go back for a moment, if we can start to the days that you're working in a New York City garage, had $1,100 to your name. Well, and now your name is globally recognized throughout the fashion industry. I'm sure so many people want to know, how do you do that? What's the secret sauce?
I don't know how I did it, honestly. And but it is true. I did start with $1,100, and you know, there's something about showing up, you know, being present, and just keep trying to move the ball up the hill, and all those corny things. You know, I had a gift for making shoes that girls wanted to buy, and also for selling. And now that I was sober, it was also simultaneous to the time that I got sober, so it all kind of happened at once.
You got sober first, then
Pretty much the same time. Yeah.
You talk about your addiction, your financial troubles, your legal woes. What was it like to revisit that, or is that something you always live with? Is it something that you're always thinking about?
So I got in trouble, raising money for my company. I never really had financial woes. Once I started, it was pretty much, straight up. But one does live with addiction, and we say it's a daily reprieve. And I'll die an alcoholic addict. I just don't have to use.
Talk about the securities fraud, the money laundering. How did you ultimately move past that?
Well, yeah, it was tough. I took some shortcuts and got involved with my friends and broke the law, and paid the price. Paid the price and went to prison, and it was awful and just terrible. And I just was able to get a second chance. I came out, and I work with a lot of great people. It sounds corny, but I picked a lot of great people, and they got me through it.
And to your point that you said that this is really for that young guy out there, right?
Yeah.
To keep them from making these mistakes. When you look back, do you have a biggest regret? Is there something you think, if I just hadn't done that?
I wish I bought Apple at 3.
Oh, right.
No, I'm kidding.
We all have
No, do I have regrets? I don't really have a ton of regrets, because I know that all the mistakes and trials and tribulations of my life led me up to where I am now, which I have, I'm just really, grateful for so many things, and I have children, and my business is successful, and I can't believe I ended up like this. And all that stuff, like the path takes you to where you are, so I don't regret,
Steve Madden, I remember wearing the Steve Madden shoes, and really it was like those platform shoes. What do you think now? They call it like the Y2K style, that it's making a resurgence.
Yeah.
And you're really responsible for that.
Well, I don't know about that, but the company, we work so hard on keeping current, and I have so many young people that I work with, and I had a whole crew at Coachella, and we're just constantly, designing and creating a line. It's hard to do anything to stay current and creative. And also, as I'm getting older, and that's hard because, my life is different, and so I have to have a lot of young people and, trust. Let go and trust.
Steve Madden, such a pleasure to talk to you. We want to let our viewers know that you can buy The Cobbler, How I Disrupted an Industry, Fell from Grace, and Came Back Stronger Than Ever, wherever books are sold. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Coming up in the next hour, the family of Tyree Nichols.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yes. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
I was so young. I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the It Girls.
This stuff has to come out. Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. And it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu. What's good to watch, read? Where can I get a great deal on what I'm just dying to buy? Oh, it's all right here. GMA Life. Get the latest celebrity buzz, deals and steals, and the coolest lifestyle tips from GMA.
I love that so much.
Streaming weekends on ABC News Live.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We're monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour. 3 people, including 2 teens, have now been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting at a birthday party in Alabama over the weekend, where 4 victims were killed and 32 others injured. 2 are teens and have each been charged as adults with 4 counts of reckless murder. The 3rd suspect is 20 years old and also formally charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. 4 victims are still in the hospital in critical condition. 2 Texas cheerleaders were shot after mistakenly getting into the wrong car. One of the victims was treated and released at the scene, and the second is in critical condition. A witness and friend of the girl said that she and 3 other cheerleaders had finished practice when she got out of her friend's car and opened the door to a car she thought was her own to find a man in the passenger seat. She then got out of the car when the man approached their vehicle and began shooting. Police have charged a 25-year-old suspect with deadly conduct. Tyree Nichols' mother has sued the city of Memphis and members of the police department over his death following a violent traffic stop in the city, according to court records. The lawsuit is seeking $550 million for the torture of Nichols, who died 3 days after he was beaten by police during a traffic stop. The Memphis Police Department told ABC News it does not comment on pending litigation. We turn now to the Kansas City homeowner who shot a black teen who simply went to the wrong address. 84-year-old Andrew Lester pled not guilty today to felony charges after telling police that he shot 16-year-old Ralph Yarl in the head and arm because he lives alone and was, quote, scared to death. And tonight we have a new image of Yarl, who is recovering at home after surviving the altercation. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Tonight, the Kansas City man charged with shooting a black teenager who mistakenly knocked on his door, making his first appearance in court. 84-year-old Andrew Lester, hunched and walking with a cane, pleading not guilty to felony assault and armed criminal action. Court documents revealing investigators recovered a Smith & Wesson .32 caliber revolver in the front living room chair with 2 spent shell casings still in the cylinder, live rounds still in the chambers. Lester telling police he fired at 16-year-old Ralph Yarl startled because he saw a black male approximately 6 feet tall pulling on the door handle and thought someone was breaking in and saying it was the last thing he wanted to do, but he was scared to death of Jarl's size. Jarl, who's only 5'8", telling authorities after he was shot in the head and arm that Lester told him, "Don't come around here." And tonight, just 6 days after he was shot in the head, the teen outdoors on a bench with a smile.
He's still working on developing his speech and walking, but those are all great things to say about Ralph, considering the significance of his injuries.
Really miraculous. Our thanks to Alex for that. Now to an explosive audio tape you would never expect from someone whose job is to protect you, along with leaders who are supposed to make your community safer. An Oklahoma sheriff and county commissioners are actually heard discussing killing reporters and lynching black people on this tape that was obtained by a local newspaper. The state's governor is appalled, and now at least one McCurtain County commissioner, Mark Jennings, has officially resigned. Other officials have been suspended as well. ABC's Maria Villarreal has been following this story from the beginning and joins us now with more. Maria, lynching, hiring hitmen, it really sounds like a crime doc of maybe for 2020. What was going on? Give us the context here.
You know, 2020 or maybe even a Nightline, right? Or your show for that matter. Yeah, this is a really chaotic situation that has been developing over the last week or so when it comes to the most recent recording that was released by the McCurtain Gazette News. But really, we sat down with the editor-in-chief and he tells us this actually stems from articles they have been writing over the last year. There has been tension growing with his staff and himself, as well as with the sheriff's department. And the more information they continue to ask for, the more it had been withheld from the sheriff's department. They actually had to file a lawsuit to try and get some of the information that, as journalists, we are supposed to be allowed to have. That obviously created more tension, and then you had this meeting go down in early March. Now, the editor-in-chief says that he was in the meeting covering it early on. They took a break, but they didn't completely adjourn, so he left his recording device inside just in case as he got up, if they started up again, right? So as they did start up again, he didn't realize what was going on. He went back in, retrieved his device, and realized this off-color conversation happened where obviously there were racist remarks that were made by elected officials. And on top of that, assaulting two journalists, including himself, as well as disposing of their body was referred to. So some very, very dramatic and frustrating things said about himself.
Right, that they could create holes in the ground to bury the bodies. The population of Idabel, Oklahoma is less than 8,000. That's extremely small. How is the community there reacting?
You know, I think at first glance you would imagine that there would be a lot of support for the law enforcement and elected officials in town, but really it was the exact opposite. The community has truly backed up the paper as well as the staff there, and so much so that they had a protest earlier this week. It was peaceful, but they were calling for the resignation of all of the people involved. And we're talking about the sheriff, a county commissioner who has already resigned, a jail administrator, and a detective for the sheriff's department. You know, in developing news, we also know that the governor has called for their resignation, as well as other local officials, saying these people need to go, regardless of the tone of how they said it, whether they were joking or not. These people are elected officials. They represent us and our community, and this is not how we want people to view Idabel, Oklahoma.
And you also spoke with Mayor Craig Young, the city's first African-American mayor. What did he have to say about all this?
He was absolutely appalled. He actually told us that pretty early on, after this recording had been released, he spoke with the sheriff as well as the county commissioner, Mark Jennings, and he highly recommended to them that they resign. He said, "You made a terrible mistake. This is reflecting on our community poorly, and now innocent people are obviously being hurt by this." But what he also told us, however, was that he expected a lot more detail to come out, more recordings to come out, which the editor-in-chief has also confirmed that will happen very later on tonight. But he basically said, I'm concerned at how this will make us look, but I definitely don't think that this is the end of this conversation here.
And Maria, I know I'm peppering you with all these questions. This is the last one, I promise. For those who have not yet agreed to resign, what happens next?
So right now, the community as a whole is kind of in a holding pattern, and that's because the sheriff, the jail administrator and the detective involved in this recording, they were all suspended. Their certification suspended by the Oklahoma Sheriff's Association. So really, they can't even be at work right now. The county offices recently said that they were having to close their doors. We even went by some of these county offices to try and talk to people to see exactly how they felt about this, and they wouldn't let us in the door. So as of right now, it does feel like work and daily life in Idabel has kind of come to a screeching halt. I think this next article that is going to come out later on this evening into tomorrow will probably cause some more big waves in the community. But, you know, I think community leaders believe this has to happen for them to get better and for them to have good leadership in place.
We'll be staying tuned. Maria, we thank you so much for your reporting. Appreciate it. This week, ABC News is bringing you reporting about the power of water and how water issues are threatening the health of millions of people around the world. And tonight, UNICEF has released a new report outlining who the biggest victims of our world's water crisis are, and it's children. Joining us now is Executive Director of UNICEF, Catherine Russell. Catherine, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Now, you say that the global climate crisis at its heart is a child crisis. Why is that?
You know, Lindsay, first of all, thank you so much for covering this really important issue. And yes, I mean, the water crisis is such an important issue for children, and it affects children's rights to education, right to health. All these are really impacted by children and the real lack of water that they face in the world, or in some cases too much water. You know, it just depends. But climate change and the impact that's having on water is having a devastating impact on children.
And I want to reiterate just a startling number globally that more than 1 billion children, that's nearly half of the world's children, live in countries that are at extremely high risk from the impacts of climate change. When the topic of child safety is discussed, it's often from the perspective of keeping them safe from abuse or safe from violence, but hardly ever about making sure that they have access to water. How can that narrative be reshaped to include water?
Well, I think if you think about it even from your own perspective, you know, for us in the developed world, it's easy to get water, right? We turn on a spigot, we can have water to drink, we can have water to clean ourselves, water for sanitation. In so much of the world, that's just not the case, and children are in devastating situations where they don't have access to water, or the water they have is dirty. And what that means is that they end up malnourished, right? And 1/3 of children who die in the world die from malnutrition, and that's largely due to the fact that they're dealing with dirty water that gives them diarrhea, makes them sick, they can't absorb nutrients. So this lack of water has a profound impact on children all around the world.
And the report also discusses a decline in routine immunizations or vaccines for children. It states that the period of COVID-19 pandemic has given way to the largest sustained decline in rates of childhood vaccinations in an entire generation. Do you think that this was due because people were indoors more often, or parents were becoming doubtful of vaccines, or is it a combination of both?
You know, it's a combination, and I would say this, you know, vaccines have been one of the great success stories in the world, right? They've solved problems like smallpox, horrible things that killed millions and millions of people. And for the international community and for children around the world, getting vaccinated should be an easy, simple thing to do. And the problem is that even before COVID, we were facing some challenges in getting kind of the most disadvantaged, remote children vaccinated. Now, because of COVID, that has been even more challenging. And as you say, it's for a combination of reasons. In some cases, because people were locked down, they weren't able to get out and get vaccines. In some cases, there is some vaccine hesitancy. We've certainly seen that. It's just been a very difficult situation, but when you think about the consequences of that, it means that children who would not otherwise die are going to die from preventable diseases like measles, like polio, things like that that we really have the ability to prevent, and the fact that we can't get these children vaccinated is devastating.
And before I let you go, we've done a lot of reporting on women and girls in Afghanistan and how many rights they've lost under the Taliban since the U.S. pulled out. How is UNICEF trying to work with these women and girls who essentially must feel trapped?
It's a devastating situation for women and girls in Afghanistan. That is a simple reality. You know, UNICEF has been there long before things changed. We certainly will stay and try to help. But really what's happening is the space for women and girls is getting more and more constrained. And, you know, for us, we try to provide as much as we can to a population that is in desperate need. I mean, we estimate that 28 million people are in humanitarian need in that country. That's a huge, shocking number. And, you know, speak about sort of the issues of malnutrition and others, I saw that there. I saw children who were starving to death in Afghanistan, and we are doing our best to try to reach those children, help those children, but it's a very, very difficult circumstance.
I can imagine. Executive Director for UNICEF, Catherine Russell, we thank you so much for your time and for bringing us this report today.
Thanks so much.
Still much more to get to coming up. He's a member of two of the greatest R&B groups of all time. Ronnie DeVoe tells us about their latest tour and the important work that it's doing to help across the country. But next, she was catapulted to stardom after her acclaimed role in Hamilton. And Philippa Sue tells us that she's just getting started, the moves she's making on stage and on the screen.
Whenever news breaks,
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on. If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom. Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yeah.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
Diane Macedo, wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Her time in the Broadway smash hit Hamilton helped put Philippa Sue on the map, but she says she's just getting started. And whether it's on stage or on screen, the actress has a story to tell. Sue sat down with our Mona Kosar Abdi.
Actress Philippa Sue.
You have torn it all apart. I'm watching it.
Burning up the Broadway stage since originating Eliza in the hit Broadway musical Hamilton.
We don't need a legacy. We don't need money.
A role which earned her a Tony nomination.
There you go.
And a Grammy Award.
You had a meteoric rise to fame through Hamilton in your 20s. Can you tell me what it was like just processing that so early on?
I felt so lucky, and at the same time, I knew that I wasn't going to fully understand what was happening in that moment until I was where I am now, where I can actually look back and say, like, oh, that's what was going on.
Now, she's moving into a new genre, romantic comedy, on the big screen in One True Loves. Yes, loves, plural. Adapted from the novel by best-selling author Taylor Jenkins Reid, her character Emma finds herself in a love triangle after her long-lost husband comes back into her life.
I swore if I ever made it back to you, I'd tell you how sorry I was for leaving.
I'm engaged.
What?
All three characters are very lovable, and that's kind of the problem.
Yeah. Emma Blair has to make an impossible decision, and she knows that she will end up hurting someone. So no one wins, but at the same time, you are rooting for everyone. We had this idea that our adventures had to be grand, right? That we had to go to Madrid and the Great Wall and go everywhere extraordinary. But extraordinary is everywhere.
One thing that really jumped out to me, and I don't know if you can relate, but this theme of change as well, that sometimes you're not the same person you were years ago.
Totally. I think that we're constantly changing, constantly learning. I think in this idea of love and relationships, it's something that, yes, can happen, love at first sight, but also you have to choose love every day.
Hey, Philippa stars alongside Simu Liu, the duo, breaking barriers as two leading actors of Asian descent in a romantic comedy.
So I should probably buy a book, so it doesn't seem like I came in here just to talk to you. This one.
On the house.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or you can owe me.
What does that kind of representation mean to you?
It means a lot. I feel a responsibility and a pride, and these are our stories too, and you just maybe haven't seen them yet, but here we are.
Right.
You know, and more to come.
Is this something that you wish you would have seen when you were younger?
Of course. I wish the world had been that way, you know, centuries before. But I'm definitely sensing that there is a care and a willingness to make that a priority for storytelling. That we're not telling these stories just for entertainment and just to make money and just to sell tickets. We're doing it to move people and hopefully give people a sense of who they are as a culture.
She is also back on stage, starring in Camelot. Opening next week on Broadway, it's the 12th century tale of King Arthur's quest for democracy, revived this time by Oscar-winning Hollywood screenwriter Aaron Sorkin. Philippa, seen here, performs the rollicking score, The Lusty Month of May, in this behind-the-scenes clip from Playbill.
It's May, the lusty month of May, that lovely month when everyone goes blissfully astray.
It's all of the same songs, the same story, but I think we're looking at it from a different angle, which is where we're at today, which is a society that is questioning if democracy works. Is there a place for it? Are humans innately good? Are humans innately bad? Where is the hope in the world that we're living in?
Philippa's Guinevere evoking her Eliza in Hamilton, both supporting their husbands' dreams, but heroines of their own stories too. These leading ladies are very strong. They are very independent. What draws you to those characters?
Maybe like a common thread between all those characters is that they're not necessarily living in a world that holds space for them all the time. So they have a resilience and they find their way through it.
Philippa's portrayal of Eliza Hamilton striking a chord with audiences and holding space for one little girl in a clip that's been viewed over 3 million times.
That's Eliza.
Looks like Elijah. No, it is not. No, it's not. It's me.
It's you? This is you?
Yeah.
It was a video that you shared during the pandemic of a little girl named Jenny who said that she saw herself in you. What is it like when you hear that from the next generation and they see themselves in you?
It's awesome. And it's very moving. Something that, you know, the play evokes is this idea that what we're doing is not for the end game for ourselves. It's to pass it on to the next generation. So when I do things like Hamilton, when I do things like Camelot, I'm just excited to see what the kids who come to see it and think, wow, that speaks to me. And that's my musical, and I see myself in that. Like, I want to see what those kids make when they get older. Like, let's keep it moving forward.
Our thanks to Mona for bringing us that. And still to come, he's performed in front of sold-out crowds for decades. While he loves to entertain, Ronnie DeVoe tells us how he's working overtime to make an impact offstage.
I was so young, I just wanted that body. I wanted to be like with the it girls.
This stuff has to come out. Why are so many women now removing their implants?
I feel more feminine now with them out than I ever did with them in. Like, and it always makes me want to cry, but I felt like my body was like, thank you.
Enough is enough. It all has to come out.
Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
ABC News, America's #1 news source.
All 6 members of the legendary 80s R&B group New Edition, they are back on the road, including Ronnie DeVoe, who's also part of the 90s hip-hop trio Belle Biv DeVoe with hit songs like Poison. Ronnie DeVoe joins us now in studio, the legend himself. You know, I have to just, like, as soon as I see you, I'm like, Candy Girl, like,
That's
I hear
right.
it.
That's
And
right. I
Mr.
just wanna
Telephone
do the cross
Man,
step.
right? I want to learn the moves. Like, I always have tried. I just haven't had the success yet. But what keeps you going? I mean, you guys are really like the quintessential boy band, now men.
That's
still got the moves. Still enjoy performing just as much?
That's right. This is something that we love to do. So to be able to do something that you love to do for 40 years straight, right? I think it's a testimony, you know, for others to really gravitate to. 1978, New Edition started, right? Boston, Massachusetts, they rehearsed, committed, right? Like a couple hours a day, right? At least 5 days a week. I jumped in the group 1980, from 1980 to 81, 82, 83, working on our craft. So that in 1983, when the opportunity presented itself, we were prepared. And we've been able to stand the test of time because of that. So
really
commitment, hard work, dedication definitely pays off.
And you have talked about entertaining the crowd. And you've said that, quote, it's about depositing something instead of performing, extracting, and leaving. What do you mean by that?
So, again, 1983, we were thrust upon the world stage, right? And people have been pouring into us and supporting us and praying for us and all of these things, coming to our shows and buying our music for 40 years now. And for me, that's extracting all of this positive energy. But as I move across the country and go into these cities and states, my thing is, how can I put something back on the table, right? There are organizations such as Life Camp, Erica Ford since 2002, connecting with the community, right? Violence prevention, like intervention. How do we connect the dots to organizations such as those that are making a difference and a big impact in the community? So if I'm getting 100% from people, let me put 25% of that back on the table to make sure that I am what my mom always says, blessed to be a blessing to others.
Tell us about Life Camp and the positive outcomes that you've seen firsthand in communities.
So I visited Life Camp for the first time, and the organization was amazing. For me, organizations such as Life Camp, the Boys and Girls Club of America, they really, when I didn't have, allowed me to have, right? When crack and various things were going on in the streets of Boston, Massachusetts in the 80s, instead of me being on the block, I was picking up a basketball or doing arts and crafts, you know, with organizations such as these. So anytime that I get to use my resources, my relationship, my influence, or any power, or even my money on top of that, to make sure that organizations that are putting in the work and actually taking action and getting results, I'm there for it.
And before I let you go, I know you guys are going to be performing.
Yes.
Continue. I mean, like in perpetuity, you guys will probably be performing. You could never create a new song and people would still come to hear you guys sing. But do you think that that's a possibility? You think new music from New Edition?
New music from New Edition, new music from Belle Biv DeVoe. It's good that we have these classics that people want to hear us perform. Mr. Telephone Man is one of the crowd favorites. But that's definitely coming, a residency for the 6 of us in Vegas at some point. But it feels good to, again, just impact the community in such a positive way. So April 24th, this Monday coming up, it's Par for Peace golf tournament where proceeds are being raised for Life Camp, the organization, just to, you know, keep what they're doing with boots on the ground, just moving forward. And just being able to do that in so many other cities across the country is, there's so much of a reward from that. Like they say, ladies and gentlemen, new edition, and that roar, you know, from the audience is the thing that keeps me young. But being able to put something back on the table is the thing that keeps me sane.
Thank you for all that you're doing. It's a blessing to be a blessing, as they say, right? As
That's
Mom
right.
told you.
Let's go, Lindsay. That's what I'm talking about. You might need to pay me some publishing on that one.
Yeah,
if you use it, all right?
If I use it. Ronnie DeVoe, we thank you for stopping by. And that is our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and, of course, on abcnews.com. Have a great night.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
A sexual